Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the United States of America, and to the republic which is one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a regularly scheduled public session of the Woodbridge Board of Education and is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, also known as the Sunshine Law. This meeting has been approved by resolution adopted at the organization meeting held on January 6, 2026. Notification is posted on the Woodbridge Board of Education District website. Meetings of the board are open to the public, and all members of the community should feel free to participate. The board announces that under its longstanding policy, it will not discuss in public any comments made by members of the public concerning individual staff members. Before coming to the board, the chain of command should be followed. There are two portions of the meeting reserved for comments made from the public. The first, at the beginning of the meeting for agenda items only, and the second at the end of the meeting for other items. Issues raised by the public may or may not be responded to by the board, but all comments will be considered. The board requests that all members of the public be mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Due to the confidentiality and legal rights afforded by the state of New Jersey, members of the public are asked not to speak negatively or in a derogatory manner about any employee of the board or any student. Please be advised that all portion of this meeting is being live streamed in real time and will be recorded for rebroadcasting at a future date. Roll call.
Mr. Fallon.
Here.
Mr. Garvin is absent. Mrs. Milano.
Here.
Mr. Vicario is absent. Mr. Biamonte.
Present.
And Mr. Nieves.
Present. All right. So before we get into our regular agenda, we're going to start with our presentations and awards. Student of the Month for April.
Thank you, Mike. Each month, the Doyle School celebrates different areas of student achievement. And for this past month, we were very excited to focus on the area of mathematics. Our mathematicians of the month were nominated and selected based on their outstanding talent, interest, and effort in math. We believe highlighting these young mathematicians not only encourages them, but also fosters a culture of curiosity, critical thinking within our school community. Recipients of this honor have received a certificate of achievement and have their photos prominently displayed in the school building. I now present to you the K4 Mathematicians of the Month. I'm going to start with grade 4. When I call your name, please come up. Grade 4, Ion Mehta. In grade 3, Arvin Yenna. Arvin. In grade 2, Aiden Zarilla. I don't see Aiden tonight. In grade 1, Astrid Mang. And last but not least, in kindergarten, Jerry Sapita. I don't see Jerry tonight either. Okay, come on over. Great job.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to recognize our April Students of the Month from the Woodridge Intermediate School. Each month, our staff selects students who are consistently demonstrating what it means to be a Blue Devil. They show respect, responsibility, kindness, and pride in everything that they do. These students stand out for their character and the positive impact that they have on our school community. For the month of April, we focus on the initiative and impact that our students have on those around them. This month's honorees are students who take action without being asked and who step up when something needs to be done. They show respect by contributing to a positive school environment, taking pride in their work, and serving as role models to others. Their effort helps to make WRAS a stronger and supportive place for everyone. For the month of April, we proudly recognize in grade 5, Lexi Cruz. In grade 6, Alexa Marr. I don't see her tonight. And for our arts and athletic winner, Carol Ann Indergrund. Congratulations to our winners. We are incredibly proud of the examples you set for others. Let's give one more round of applause for Lexi.
Ms. Ruiz couldn't be here this evening, so she asked if I would step in and do this for her, and I said, of course. So our April Students of the Month. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we are proud to recognize our April Students of the Month for grades 7 through 12. These students have shown what it means to be respectful, hardworking, kind, and dedicated members of our school community. Each of them brings something special to our school, whether it's helping others, giving their best effort in the classroom, showing leadership, or simply making those around them better each day. Their teachers and peers notice the positive impact they make, and tonight we celebrate those accomplishments. To our Student of the Month, thank you for setting an example for others. We are proud of you and excited to see all that you continue to achieve. Congratulations. For 7th grade, Bridget Mocha. Eighth grade, Jason Cata. Nicely done. 9th grade, Izzy Gaskin. Keep up the good work, Iz. 10th grade, Connor Chang. 11th grade, Autumn Hutchinson. Hi, Autumn. Congratulations. And 12th grade, Bella Jodis. Good job. Faith's gonna take your picture. Come on, guys. Everybody gets together. Pretend like it's kitchen. Good job, guys. Congratulations. Good job. Good job.
All right, congratulations, parents and students. We're going to move our way onto our student rep report. Alexis?
The month of May started off with Senior Commitment Day. Thank you to the PTA for sponsoring the event and to Mrs. Peniagro for putting it all together. The seniors enjoyed a nice lunch together, took pictures, and ended the day with Mr. Softy. We also held our honor roll breakfast last week, and we are so proud of the 180 students who achieved honor roll for marking period 3. Last week was Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you to the PTA, WREA, Mayor and Council, and the Woodbridge Police Department for providing breakfast, lunch, and delicious treats throughout the week. Our 8th graders traveled to Washington, D.C. last week for a 2-night trip. They had a wonderful time. Thank you to Mrs. Diaz and all the chaperones for creating such a memorable experience for our students. AP testing has been underway and will conclude on Friday. This Thursday is the junior-senior prom at the Indian Trail Club in Franklin Lakes, and we are looking forward to a fun and memorable evening. Prom show-off will take place in front of the school on Hackensack Street from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m., followed by prom from 6 to 10 p.m. Moving on to athletics, baseball is currently 14-9, and they have their final 2 league games this week. The boys depart for Cooperstown on Sunday, and they will play North Arlington at Doubleday Field. Their senior night is May 20th versus New Milford. The boys currently ranked 5th in power points for the state tournament. Softball is currently 16-5 and has 2 league games remaining for their regular season. If they win, they will clinch a divisional title. The girls have advanced to the BIT semifinals, where they will play Ridgewood at the Rack at 2 p.m. this Saturday. Rec night is scheduled for Wednesday for baseball and softball, but is forecasted to rain. We will keep you all updated on the status of the event. Spring track performed well at the Bergen County meet this past weekend. We had individual medals in the discus shot put, hurdles, long jump, and the 4x1 relay. This Friday and Saturday, we will be competing for the sectional championship at Ridge High School. Flag football is currently 3-3, and the girls have been playing with great effort. They have a game tomorrow at Paramus at 5 p.m. And lastly, in the first year of golf, finished with a record of 6-7. The team rapidly improved throughout the course of the season, and we are anticipating great strides as we move forward to the next season.
Thank you, Alexis. Trustees, any questions? All right, our last presentation, our 24-25 NJDOE Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights Self-Assessment, final report from Ryan Ann.
I know this is what everyone came to hear. Earlier this year, we shared preliminary scores from the New Jersey School and District Report Card as part of the NJDOE Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights Self-Assessment for the 2024-2025 school year. These scores have since been reviewed, approved, and officially released by the NJDOE and are now available on both our district and school websites. The assessment is based on 8 core elements, which include HIB programs and initiatives, staff training on HIB policy, additional staff training, curriculum and instruction related to HIB personnel, incident reporting procedures, investigations, and reporting. Each element is then rated on a proficiency scale of 0 to 3, with a maximum point of 78. The final scores are as follows. For Doyle School, 64 points, intermediate school, 61 points, and at the junior senior high school, 62 points. The district's overall average being a 62 indicates that the Woodridge School District has met all requirements of the Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights Act for the 2024-2025 school year. Thank you.
All right, so now we go on to our board administrative report, our superintendent report, and some resolutions. I will pause for about a minute. Anybody who wants to vacate, we would not be insulted. And then we'll resume our regular course of business. Mr. Lisa, on to our board administrative report.
Good evening, everyone. It's only been about 2 weeks since our last meeting, so my report this evening will be brief. With the district's budget now fully approved by the county, the business office has shifted its focus to other matters, primarily those associated with the rapidly approaching end of the school year. The annual extraordinary aid application is currently being prepared in conjunction with our child study team. For the 2024-2025 school year, this application resulted in approximately $740,000 in state aid to assist in funding tuition and services for our special education population. With regards to this year's application, which impacts the current year's budget, we do not expect to receive notice of the actual award until July. At this time, we are anticipating similar results pending any changes to the state's funding formula or awarding methodology. Turning to the finance resolutions on this evening's agenda, I would like to highlight several items. Item 1 is the approval of the bills list for tonight's meeting. Item 2 is approval of the board secretary and treasury reports for April. Item 3 is certification of a balanced budget. Item 4 is approval of the monthly budget transfers for April. And item 5 is a transfer of funds to provide additional funding for the Doyle expansion project. Finally, we'd like to remind our parents to please keep an eye on their children's lunch count balances. The district has been sending text messages and email reminders to parents of students whose accounts have fallen into a negative balance. We understand that with busy schedules, matters such as this can sometimes be easily overlooked, and these notices are simply intended as reminders. As always, there are multiple options available for students to pay for lunch. Cash is accepted in the cafeteria. However, parents may also deposit money directly into their child's lunch account through the Pay Schools app, which can be accessed either through the real-time parent portal or directly from the district website. Please note that convenience fees associated with the Pay School service are charged by the vendor, and the Board of Education does not receive any portion of those fees. Alternatively, parents may send a check-in with their child to be given directly to the cafeteria cashier. We ask that parents please include their child's student ID number in the memo section of the check. There is no fee associated with this option, and the funds are credited directly to the student's lunch account. If you have any other questions regarding your child's lunch account, please feel free to contact the business office directly. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lisa. Trustees, any questions, comments, concerns? Mr. Albro, Superintendent Report.
Good evening, everyone. At the conclusion of today's school day, we are in the home stretch of the current school year with 27 days remaining on our school calendar. Historically, the days go by quite quickly at this time of year, with culminating school year events happening almost daily. And speaking of the school calendar, I, as the superintendent, must again profusely apologize for the error that was made in this year's calendar concerning the month of April. In preparing the school calendar in preparation for this year, I consciously scheduled our schools to be open on Good Friday. I was hoping to be the hero after a relatively mild winter and announced that schools will be closed on Good Friday. As we know, that was not the case. Instead, I am now praying for magnificent weather on Tuesday, May 26th, so that we can perhaps have a wonderful, warm, dry, and extended Memorial Day weekend. As Ms. Santana mentioned in her report, our prom is this Thursday, and it is customary to have our show off on the front lawn of the high school. Of course, there is rain in the forecast. If at some point the school administration determines that the weather will not cooperate, we'll probably move our show off into the gymnasium. But we're going to hold out hope that everything works out well, and we hope our students have a fantastic time on Thursday night. The May meeting is usually a bit of a longer agenda, as it customarily a meeting where the renewal of school personnel takes place. By law, non-tenured staff are to be notified by May 15th of their status for the upcoming school year. Tomorrow morning, my office will begin to disseminate contract information to those who are renewed this evening and continue to plan for next year. Tonight, the board will also be taking action that will result in the reduction of force of 11 part-time paraprofessionals, 1 teacher, and 2 lunch aides. This was a necessary move to finalize a budget to submit to the state. I met with those impacted staff last week and informed them that we would do everything we can to bring them back before the next school year begins. As I'm sure that you're aware, the New Jersey State Legislature from now until June 30th will be reviewing Governor Sherrill's budget proposal, and there's a possibility for some things to change. Our initial award of state aid was based on the governor's initial budget address, and it's possible that the legislation could result in additional funding for the next school year. It's a waiting game that we have to adhere to now, but I can promise that anyone who is designated to have assistance with a paraprofessional or a classroom size necessitates a paraprofessional, they will have a paraprofessional. It's just that when we turned our budget in late March, early April, I couldn't show a revenue that would allow me to hire or keep all of those people. I don't want to say it's a game that we play every year, but it is a game that we play every year. And I am almost dead certain that we're going to be able to bring those people back at some point during the summer. Last year in our budget, we struck our budget, it was approved, and we were able to add 7 additional para positions that were not originally in the budget because things changed throughout the summer. So that is my intention with regards to those staff that I had to tell they don't have a contract right now. Lastly, Board Operations Resolution 8 is sort of a statement being made by our school board as well as by other school boards within our state. It basically outlines the issue and impact of the increased health benefit costs and how it impacts school finance. It is sort of a consensus plea to our local legislators to consider trying to make some changes in that regard, as the prices for healthcare have been soaring, and one has to wonder whether there'll be a ceiling established at some point. Mr. Nieves, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Albro. Trustees, comments, questions, or concerns? No? Okay. Approval of the minutes. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education approves the minutes of the following meeting, public session, April 27th, 2026. Motion for a first. Mr. Fallon, second. Mrs. Milano, discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Fallon,
Yes.
Mrs. Milano,
Yes.
Mr. Diamante,
Yes.
Mr. Nieves.
Yes. All right, trustees, we're on to our committee reports. Anything before I get started? No? We do have one correction. Personnel P1 is not an acceptance of retirement. It's an acceptance of leave. That is P1. All right, curriculum and instruction, approval of home instruction, approval of amending related services, approval of evaluation request, approval of field trip request, approval of professional development request, and approval of purchase equipment. On to personnel, acceptance of leave, approval of the request for leave absence, approval of personnel appointment 2526 district substitutes, approval of a mentor, approval of guidance counselor compensation for 2026, approval of chaperones, approval of reduction in force, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 Doyle School non-tenured staff, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 to tenured Doyle School, approval of reappointments of personnel 2627 Doyle School tenured staff, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 WRIS non-tenured staff, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 to tenure WRI intermediate school, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 intermediate tenured staff, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 junior senior high school, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 junior senior high school to tenure, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 junior senior high school tenured staff, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 district-wide non-tenured child study team, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 to child study team to tenure, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 tenured child study team, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 district-wide ESL teacher, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 non-tenured full-time paras, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 non-tenured part-time paras, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 non-tenured buildings and grounds personnel, approval of reappointment of personnel 2627 part-time nurse, approval of reappointment of bus driver 2627, approval of reappointment of administrative personnel 2627 non-tenured, approval of reappointment of administrative personnel 2627 tenured, approval of reappointment of unaffiliated district personnel 2627, approval of reappointment personnel 2627, treasurer of school monies, approval of reappointment of business school administrative board secretary, approval of the sixth period stipend, approval of resignation, none for policy at this time. Buildings and grounds, we have approval of facilities request. On to finance, as Mr. Lisa spoke to, approvals of a bill list, approval of a monthly financial reports of the board secretary and treasurer, approval of the certification of a balanced budget, approval of budget transfers, and capital reserve transfer. On to board operations, we have approval of a revision of 25-26 school district calendar, approval of district re-registration process summer 26, approval of the confirmation of the HIB grade reports for the 24-25 school year, and approval of the monthly before care fee schedule 26-27 pre-K students only, and approval to monthly after care fee schedule 26-27 pre-K students only. Trustee, I have a few more. Approval of the monthly before care fee schedule 26-27 grade K to 6. Approval of the monthly after care fee schedule 26-27 grade K to 6. Approval of the board certification resolution urging relief from rising public school employee health care costs. Affirmation of the superintendent's report of incident of harassment, intimidation, and bullying, otherwise known as HIB, within the district. And lastly, approval of the education affiliation agreement with Felician University occupational therapy assistant. Trustees, any comments or questions before I open it up to the public? Opening up to the public on resolutions only. If you have anything, please come up to the podium, name and address, and then ask away your question.
Hi, everyone. Melissa Cruz, 335 Columbia Boulevard. I just have a question for P7 and P32. With the reduction of staff and 2 teachers resigning, I would like to know if there's any going to be reduction of class sections for the next school year.
There are no reductions in elementary generalist class sections for the next school year.
Elementary is pre-K through 6, or, okay. And then is there going to be any electives taken away from them next year? in terms of clubs or special subjects that they have this year?
No.
And do we have a plan for supporting our teachers that, as of right now, we can't bring back 11 paras?
We're going to have to go through our IEPs and determine which students need paras. Right now, in the current school year, every student who needs a para, whether it be individual or by class size, has one, and we do have other paras available. Next year, right now, we're not going to have that. So as soon as this meeting is over tonight, my administration will discuss with me what our para needs are for next year and see where we are. And like I said in my address, I plan to bring people back.
Right, so is kindergarten going to continue no longer having paras within the classroom as of right now?
As of right now, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. Justine O'Brien. I guess I would say my address is here. I'm one of the high school special education teachers in our district. And I know we've talked about it at length about our paraprofessionals, but I just would like to ask us to reconsider laying off the 11 paraprofessionals in our district. I understand that these are incredibly difficult decisions, and I know the district is trying to minimize the impact budget cuts have on students. However, these cuts are impacting our students that need the help the most in our classrooms. Paraprofessionals support all learners, not just students with IEPs. At the high school level especially, they're building relationship with our students. They're building trust with them. Students rely on them and often seek them out for support during difficult moments. Our paraprofessionals here really go above and beyond in ways that are often unseen, helping create safe, supportive classrooms where students can succeed. Especially at the high school level, many paraprofessionals are tasked with supporting students on a one-to-one basis. But because teenagers do not want to feel signaled out or different from their peers, paras often have to provide that support quietly and carefully without drawing attention to those students. They help students stay regulated, they help them stay focused and successful while protecting their dignity and helping them feel included alongside their peers. We're finally expanding our special education programs here, including our first self-contained classroom at the high school level. It has been successful because of our dedicated staff, including the paraprofessionals who work tirelessly to support students and teachers alike. These programs allow students to remain in their hometown schools while also reducing costly out-of-district placements. Overall, paraprofessionals really are the backbone of our strong education programs, special education programs. They help students stay on task, they support behavior tracking, they take notes for students who cannot, and they assist teachers who are trying to meet the needs of 10 or more students at different levels in one classroom. So tonight, I'm just going to ask two questions. First, how does the district plan to support our most vulnerable students after cutting 1/3 of their biggest support systems? And second, I really ask for us to search for an alternate solution. Thank you.
Well, Mrs. O'Brien, I'm not going to contend with anything that you said. As I said, this is a now situation. This is not something that I enjoy to do. I hired all of these people and then told them they don't have a job for next year. It should also be said that as part of the budget process, we're also adding 4 other special education classrooms next year. This is something that I will continue to address all throughout the summer, and the school year will not open without everyone who needs a paraprofessional assigned to them having them in the classroom. Thank you.
Trustees, comments, questions? Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Denise Bogach, 419 Ennis Road. That was wonderful. I really support everything that, it was a Miss O'Brien, said. I have two students who are special education. One of them does have a dedicated paraprofessional as a one-to-one aide. It is going to rock her world if that person who's been with her for 3 years is not with her again. So I hope that part of the consideration is also students who do have relationships with these individuals. They're high anxiety. They know that these are their people that they can go to and rely on. So I really hope that what I'm hearing tonight does come to fruition, that we can keep some of this staff on board to support our children. Thanks.
Anything you want to respond with? Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Mr. Lisa, anything submitted?
No.
All right, hearing none, seeing none, I will close the hearing of citizens. Obviously, trustees, a lot of sensitivity around some of our actions, and, what Tony said, we have our plan that's fairly confident that will change, as well as some other things that we're looking for that are on the floor right now. So looking for your support, which includes Moonaki, curriculum and instruction 4, personnel 3, 5, 7, and 14 through 30, personnel 3, 5, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, all the way through to 30. And that's it for personnel. Policy, none at this time. Buildings and grounds, none at this time, which include Moonaki. Finance, 1 through 5. Board operations, 1, 3, and 8. Can I get them? What do you see? Oh, it only says 1 through 8 here. Okay, and 10 board operations. Trustees looking for your support. I get it first. Mr. Fallon, second. Mrs. Milano, discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Fallon,
Yes.
Mrs. Milano, excuse me, Mrs. Milano,
Yes.
Mr. Biamonte,
Yes.
Mr. Nieves,
Yes. All right, trustees, looking for your support, which is Woodridge only, curriculum and instruction, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Personnel, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 31, and 32. None for policy. Buildings and grounds, we have one approval of facility request, number 1. Nothing for finance, board operations, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Can I get a motion for a first? Mr. Fallon, second. Mrs. Milano, discussion, roll call.
Mr. Fallon,
Yes.
Mrs. Milano,
Yes.
Mr. Biamonte,
Yes.
Mr. Nieves.
Yes. Thank you, trustees. Before I open it up to the hearing of citizens on anything they'd like to talk about, do we have anything for new or unfinished business? No, no, no? All right, I will open it up to the hearing of citizens on anything you'd like to speak about. All right, hearing none, seeing none. Anything submitted? No. All right, I will close the hearing of citizens. Trustees and everyone, constituents, teachers, we do have our prom on Thursday. We do have our end-of-year activities. We have graduations. We have academic awards, sports awards, and of course, leading up to all the different moving up and graduation. So we will be seeing most of you shortly. If anything in the meantime, please feel free to reach out. Can I have a motion to close? Mr. Fallon, Ms. Milano, all in favor? All opposed? Close tonight's hearing. Thank you, everyone.